The Russians call him Luchnik, the Archer. Does it remind you of anyone you know?
The Green Arrow.
What are the odds of Oliver Queen and the Green Arrow being in Russia at the same time?
Very good. If Oliver Queen is the Green Arrow.
And now Mr. Stark has prepared a statement. He will not be taking any questions. Thank you.
Been a while since I was in front of you. I figure I'll stick to the cards this time. There's been speculation that I was involved in the events that occurred on the freeway and the rooftop.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stark, but do you honestly expect us to believe that that was a bodyguard in a suit that conveniently appeared, despite the fact that...
I know that it's confusing. It is one thing to question the official story and another thing entirely to make wild accusations or insinuate that I'm a superhero.
I never said you were a superhero.
Didn't? Well, good, because that would be outlandish and fantastic. I'm just not the hero type, clearly, with this laundry list of character defects, all the mistakes I made, largely public. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Arrow episode 12, episode 13 trailer video. Just careful for spoilers from episode 12 if you haven't seen it yet. There's a big Iron Man reveal moment that they teased at the end of the episode. Oliver's going to have his moment where he just comes out in public and says, "I'm the Green Arrow." So just keep your eyes peeled on the horizon for something like that. That seems to be what they're foreshadowing. But there's a new round of the Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. What I'm going to do, because the schedule for all the TV shows is a little different next week, I'll explain that at the end of this. But the deal with the trailer for the next episode is sort of a follow-up on the idea of Wild Dog's backstory, the idea he's so gun crazy in the vigilante character. So it's going to be one of those situations where Oliver can't solve a problem as Green Arrow, he has to do it as Mayor Queen. Just more foreshadowing that the two identities will become one identity eventually. People will know him as both Oliver Queen and the Green Arrow, not just his friends.
What's your administration position on gun control?
It is complicated. If the bad guys got guns, then I'm strapping up too. We cannot dismiss the idea that we are just feeding into a vicious cycle.
Find whoever did this.
I have to before he does it again.
This is a problem that the Green Arrow can't solve.
So top 10 WTF comic book Easter eggs. Number 10, more Talia and Oliver training. She's trying to teach him that going dark is actually good for him. It gives you better sight. You see more clearly walking in darkness. So she's trying to get him to become the Green Arrow, or the Hood, because that's what he was called in season 1. The thing with this is that this is all building towards him going back to Starling City. Remember, it was still called Starling City in the first season, but he hasn't faced Kovar yet. That's coming up in the flashbacks in a future episode. So Dolph Lundgren will be coming back to the show relatively soon. He is still the big boss of the flashbacks. Number 9 is Oliver and Susan in present day finally getting it on. He's moving forwards in all aspects of his life. But the funny thing about this is that it's all very tongue-in-cheek because she's trying to get information on him. There's still all the Prometheus stuff going on in the background, and all this stuff got dredged up from his past that will probably become another problem for him in the future with the Bratva. So number 7, another problem comes back. Quentin is back from rehab. More quips, more awkward humor, more lashing out at the thought of what happened to Laurel, what he did last year, all his mistakes, getting into bed with Damien Dark. So Wild Dog tries to help him out. They had a lot of great scenes together. But it seems like this is who his character's going to be for the rest of the season. They kind of did that on The Flash. Like, Caitlin's character was traumatized by a Zoom. She changed going forward, even with all the Flashpoint changes. All the characters are suffering from something and dealing with it in different ways. Cisco lost his brother, so that kind of thing is going on with Quentin's character. Eventually, he'll find a way to move past it. But he was never that happy of a character to begin with. He spent the first couple of seasons trying to catch the Arrow and take him down. But number 6, they had this really awesome Wild Dog story about how Quentin helped him. It becomes this really positive thing when I was a little kid tagging buildings, you gave me this great speech. But then sort of a lead into the next episode, like the trailer footage, The Way of the Gun, he asked him, how did you end up getting dishonorably discharged from the military if I set you on the good path? And he's like, nobody's perfect. So if you don't remember the story of how Wild Dog got discharged from the military, he was on board a ship. They were interrogating a prisoner and things were getting out of hand. Wild Dog shut it down, disobeying a direct order from a superior officer, and it led to him being dishonorably discharged. So he did something bad for the right reasons because he's a good person. That's the whole idea. Like, they're good people, but they crossed the line big time. So next one, I actually think I messed the numbers up. So we'll say number 6, Felicity goes super hardcore with the Pandora data. So this is going to get her into some really big trouble later on in the season. They just tease the idea that she's crossing into morally gray area, threatening people in a way that you wouldn't normally see her do. So she believes she's doing the right thing, seeking out justice, taking down bad people, using methods that are outside of the law. So eventually there'll be a reckoning. She'll have to deal with that. I don't think she's going to go to prison or anything like that, but she might have to go on the run for a brief period. She is definitely going to get in some big trouble eventually, even though the way to hell is paved with good intentions. She's going to have some big takedowns, but it's going to come at great cost. Number 5 was the general escaping captivity, causing Team Arrow to road trip to Russia. It's been a long time. I think it was season 2 was the last actual Russia road trip episode, and he gets punched right in the face by KG Beast the minute he shows up. It was great. Number 4, I totally love all the KG Beast scenes. He is so awesome. David Nichol, you may remember him from Stargate. All of his Arrow stuff has been great from all the previous seasons. It's always fun to see him back. So the whole deal here is that Oliver in the flashbacks is slowly coming to the point where he has to leave the Bratva so that he can go back to Starling City, but KG Beast keeps telling him that you don't leave that kind of oath behind. So through the course of the episode, he sort of re-ups with the Bratva unofficially, meaning the KG Beast will come visit him eventually in Star City. You're the boss now. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time when I come visit. So that is going to be a really big problem for him, because if the mayor is seen working with the Bratva, people are going to have a lot of questions. Reporters like Susan Williams are going to have a lot of questions. So just remember that for the future. Number 3 was Diggle almost killing that guard trying to get intel. I totally love it when Diggle hulks out and crosses the line. Like, I actually thought that he killed that guy till none of the other characters said that out loud. I feel like if he had killed him, then they would have acknowledged that. But in the way that Oliver's speech that he got from the Black Canary, he passes on to the other people about how they make each other better people. They influence each other's lives. That's sort of the thing that Prometheus is throwing in his face. Yeah, you influence the people around you, but that's a good thing. So Black Canary gave him the speech that he gave to everyone else, that Diggle repeats at the end, where he has that OG Team Arrow speech where he's talking to Felicity, you know, you, me, Oliver, we make each other better. So it ends up being a good thing by the end of the episode. Number 2 was Ragman stopping the nuke, sacrificing his powers. So a lot of you seem bummed that he's going to be off the show. He'll totally come back. The whole idea is that you don't need the superpowers to be a superhero. So either he's going to recharge the rags or he's going to come back and be a badass without them, which the second option seems more likely just based on the way the season's going. Like, everyone has something to offer, even if you're not a superhero. But it was a super bummer to see him sacrifice those. Like, he was one of the coolest characters, the way his power worked, the way he just drops in and bites. But the big number 1 WTF is Susan Williams pretty much figuring out that Oliver is the Green Arrow. She doesn't say it outright. She says it's like the biggest coincidence ever, but she pretty much implies that she's going to out him eventually. That's where we're headed. So that is why Oliver is probably going to be forced with a very Iron Man type situation at the end of that movie, where everyone's questioning Tony Stark after that big fight with the Ironmonger, questioning him. Who is Iron Man? What's going on? What is your relationship with him? And he just throws the cards down on the table and says, you know what? I am Iron Man. So that he becomes both of those personas embodied in one person. It's no longer one or the other. It's the same person no matter who you're talking to. So it'll be really interesting to see if that happens going into season 6, what that changes about his relationship with the city itself. Because there's only one or two ways that could go. 1, Mayor Oliver Queen stops being Mayor Oliver Queen. Or 2, everyone embraces the idea and it becomes super comic booky, pulling even more weirdos out of the woodwork. So it was a great episode. Let me know what your guys' favorite moment was. I'll explain the video schedule next week because there are 2 shows. I was actually wrong. I thought that all the DC shows were going on break, but Supergirl and Arrow are still new. Only Flash and Legends of Tomorrow are on break. So I'll be posting bonus videos for DC TV stuff like Flash next week. I'll just remind people when I post that. But it was a great episode. I always love the road trips. Black Canary, you see they're playing with her powers just a little bit, the way her sonic cry works. It was fun to see her flip a truck. And even though people will still be upset about all the Black Canary stuff going on behind the scenes, I feel like the show is better with a Black Canary, regardless of how it went down. For those of you asking about Prometheus stuff, they'll be coming back around to that. There'll be another big Prometheus episode really soon, just like there'll be another big Savitar episode of The Flash really soon. So we're heading into what they technically call Sweeps Week. That's when all the crazy stuff really happens. Stephen Amell was teasing that a lot of big stuff is all going to be happening all at the same time on Arrow, and all the other shows too for that matter. So it's going to be crazy the next couple weeks. But congratulations to the new Flash Ring giveaway winner, Ninja Ned99. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. What's going to happen next is I have new Spider-Man Homecoming, Iron Man. He's got a new suit during Spider-Man Homecoming, so I'll do a video for that. So that'll post Friday morning. It's going to be awesome. While you wait for that, you can click here for my Legion episode 1 video, and you can click here for the trailer for the next episode of The Flash. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Let's high five. I'll see you guys in the next video.